Violence against women is the most prevalent and least punished crime in the world. In spite of considerable achievements, violence against women persists even today. Society fails to recognize the suffering because all this belongs to the realm of private matters. Dowry is given in marriage as a gift to a bride. It is not uncommon for dowries to exceed a family's annual income. It can become an act of violence when it is demanded.
Dowry appears a very benign, rather very beautiful custom. Over the years, it has institutionalized as a form of violence. A form of violence that is not only against women and girls, but also against boys and men. However, it remains hidden because it is very complex. It has a very subtle characteristic. There is no law in Pakistan to address the issues of dowry, including violence. There is no public discourse. I'm talking about the mainstream public sector policies. I'm talking about mainstream donor agencies policies. I'm talking about the efforts, the collective efforts of mainstream NGOs in Pakistan. Nobody is interested in this issue.
Rihanna, who works as a housemaid, also became a victim of a brutal tradition that is silently being perpetuated within the four walls of the home.
जब शादी हुई है ना चार जोड़े कपड़े ने तो एक ट्रंक देता बस और मैं कोई नहीं याद भी कोई चीज़ मैं दी है तो ये बात चुप कहूँ ना कि खुद ही क्या जरा कि हूँ असी बाद जो उन्होंने डिमांडा बड़ियाँ की लेकिन उस टाइम उन्होंने यही किया भी थानू तुहाडी तुसी जिगर ना टुकड़ा दे रहे हो ये अब असा कुछ नहीं लेना तो बाद जो शादी हो गई उस तो बाद कहे जी हूँ तुसा ने कहा कलर टीवी है तेरे भरा तो फलानी चल लै ली तो तू जा बई उतों जड़ा लैके आ उन्होंने को पैसा आ गया जी तेरे भरा फलानी जाइयों पैसे मिलन तू जा ले आ जाके भी तेरा हक बनना है तेरा ऐसा कोई नहीं है ये है वो है बस छोटी छोटियाँ इन्हें गल्लां तो बस करने
Rihanna gradually began to realize that to her in-laws she was a mere commodity, a means to an end whose only value was materialistic.
چنور کې نو بیا لور خور ته خلک خبرې کوي چې جیفتا تشه توره رالی څه در سره راغلل دا چل دی هغه چل دی نخرې پخرې بدماشیانې پې بیلې کوي جي چې دا ستا برتنې دي کوم ګنده برتن یم دی یوړې نو هغوی دا ستا برتنې راغلي دا تا سره دا لوښي راغلي دي دا ستا بستره راغلې ده نور د هغې غریبي قدر نه عزت خیال نه ساتي صرف دغه لوښو کې نظري یو لور واده شوی دی او د دوه لوڼو نه دی شوي جي هغې له مې کټ بستره څه کپړې شوې څه پیزار شو برتنې مرتنې شي چې څه قسمت و هغه هغې له ما په خپلې غریبۍ کې وکړله ډېر بوج دی را سره دوه لوڼه خو مې لا په سر دي او ورسره دوه زامن هم دي ښه لوی بوج مې دی په سر.
Saddest thing about dowry and the violence that is hidden in this custom and institution is that it is missing. Till to date, it is missing from the development agenda in Pakistan. Noticing the visible absence of any attention to this issue, I said, okay, instead of lamenting, why not start doing something that we can do? If we may not be able to make a huge difference, but at least, you know, creating a ripple. So that's how FAD, Fight Against Dowry or Jahez ke khilaf jang, was initiated. Now at this point, I'm really very glad to share with all of you that after 10 years of continued struggle with continued moments of frustration, we receive a very positive response from UNIFEM, and nowadays we are doing national level research which is first of its kind in Pakistan on issues of dowry, including dowry violence, and the idea is to identify the causes, the immediate and underlying causes of dowry violence, and the strategies of change that may be of use to decision makers in public sector and NGO activists, and maybe our next generation can see a change.
We are supporting the government to develop a national plan of action on violence against women, which would be particularly looking at these hidden forms of violence also, including dowry and asset violence. And at the same time, we're also working to build the capacity of the civil society organizations to deal with this issue, to whether it is a bill for domestic violence or it is research in these hidden forms of violence, you know. So we are supporting these initiatives to build the capacity of the civil society. So for UNIFEM, it's extremely important to work in this area.
Most of the time you have seen in the last government, there was a women protection bill. Yes, bill was approved, but how it is going to be implemented, that is a real uphill task. And yesterday on the International Women Day, Prime Minister of Pakistan has signed himself on this, and you can see at my back that his signature, and all that National Assembly Speaker, all prominent federal ministers has signed that. It shows their commitment. This happened first time in Pakistan, that from such a highest level we have got commitment. And in his speech he also said we are going to have a really very important task to first pass this bill, and secondly to implement that bill. Implementation is an issue, and we are looking forward to have collaboration through GRAP and civil society organization at the district level. When we are talking about the national plan of action on domestic violence, we are not involving only federal government. Three provincial ministers are on board.
ਬੀਬੀ ਜੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਤੇ ਇੱਜ਼ਤ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਕੀਤੀ। ਜਦੋਂ ਮੇਰਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਨੇ ਬਸ ਮਾਰ ਕੁੱਟ, ਬਸ ਇਹ ਆਪ ਕਮਾ ਕੇ ਦੇ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਜਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰੋਂ ਆਣ ਕੇ ਦੇ। ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੁਝ ਦੇ ਸਕਿਓ ਆਪਣੀ ਧੀਆਂ, ਮੈਂ ਉਤੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਚੰਗਾ ਚੋਖਾ ਲੱਭਸੀ। ਆਪਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਰ। ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਆਨੇ ਜਾਣੇ ਸਨ, ਉਹ ਆਨੇ ਸਨ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਜੀ ਗਰੀਬ ਜਗ੍ਹਾ 'ਚੋਂ ਸ਼ਾਦੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਿੱਥੋਂ ਬਈ तुसा कुछ नहीं लभा, ये गरीब या साढ़े घर इतना मतलब सर्वेंट क्वार्टर च रहे हैं ज़्यादा, तो भी इन्होंने घरदार कोई नहीं है, यानी ये स्टैंडर्ड इन्होंने कोई नहीं है, ये है जब वो इस तरह दी गल्लां। जाती मकान कोई नहीं या घर बार नहीं साडा, तो ज़्यादा टाइम मतलब क्वार्टर च ही रहे हैं, कोठियां से अगे पीछे। तो वजह मेरा बोझ नहीं संभाल सकना कोई, मैं फिर अपना काम करके ते अपनी बच्ची ने तो अपना बाहर लेने पेट।
Although she has been abandoned by her husband, Rihanna has gained a newfound sense of determination to improve her life for herself and her daughter.
A dowry enjoys legal endorsement, social approval, and there is a very obvious and overt elitist consensus on this issue. Therefore, in Pakistan, there is no law to address it.
I believe that a coordinated response is needed to address this issue, and for this we are supporting EVA Alliance, which is Ending Violence Against Women Alliance, and it comprises donors, civil society, UN agencies and government as well.
In a society where marriage becomes a business deal, a demand for goods in the form of dowry can reduce a woman's status to that of an inanimate object ready to be bartered.